Sometimes what seems easy is actually hard. Have you ever been asked to do something simple, but for you, it felt incredibly difficult, maybe even more difficult than it would be for anyone else? That's where frustration begins. I felt this when I started singing lessons, and my teacher told me, just breathe with your diaphragm. It sounded easy. After all, it's just breathing, something we all do naturally. But in reality, it was tough, and it turns out it's one of the secrets behind great singing. This reminds me of when a boss walks into a meeting and says, think outside the box. Come on, give me fresh creative ideas. We need innovation. Sounds simple, right? But doing it and actually thinking creatively is not so easy. To think outside the box, you need to train yourself. You need to know how to get out of the box, where to explore, and how to return to it. Because ultimately, that box is where we live. It's our comfort zone. So I started asking myself, why should we even try to leave the box? Inside the box, we feel safe. We agree with those around us. Outside the box, there's risk. We could fail and possibly damage our reputation, the very thing we've spent years building. So is creative thinking just a luxury, something only a few people can afford? Or is it something essential? Think about our world today. We live in a connected network. We share information instantly. In fact, most of us have access to the same data. That's a bit scary. If we all have the same knowledge, what sets us apart? What gives us our dignity as individuals? The difference lies in what we create using that shared information. That's why creative thinking, stepping out of the box, is not just a luxury, but a necessity for human dignity. But what exactly is the box? Let's define it. It's not our brain or even our entire mind. It's a boundary within our minds, the line between what we know and what we've never considered. Our mind, our knowledge structure, forms over time. It begins with our genetic makeup. Then, our surroundings influence us. We spend years learning in schools, absorbing the discoveries and ideas of others. Then comes our personal experience, our wins and failures, which shapes who we are. This creates the anthill we live in, a structured, familiar world. Inside it, everything makes sense. Outside, it's invisible, unknown, and unpredictable. And that's why it's scary, because nobody knows what lies beyond. Still, stepping out is necessary, but how do we do it? Do we wait for a sudden moment of genius, like an apple falling on our head? Or are there tools and strategies we can use? Reality is out there, full of beauty and ideas, and we have a lot of information, things we've been told, taught, or experienced. This is convergent information, things we all agree on, rules, norms, expectations. It keeps us safe, but it also keeps us stuck. To break out of this, we need a little something extra, something unexpected or strange, something irrelevant, even absurd. That's divergent information, and it's crucial. It pushes us past what we know into what we haven't yet considered. But once we're outside the box, it's like we're in the middle of a chess game. There's no clear direction. It feels uncomfortable, and the urge is to go back, to return to safety. That's a temptation we must resist. Instead, we should embrace what I call long thinking, not just brilliant or fast or deep thinking, but thoughts that take time and go far, like poetry or music. You don't judge a single word or note. It's the full piece that moves you. That's how we should approach creative thought. We can try combining ideas, drawing parallels, or applying principles from one area to another. We must stay open, fluid, and curious. Because in creative thinking, there isn't one right answer. There are many possible paths. Now let's say we actually come up with a brand new idea. How do we judge its value? That's tricky, because if it's truly new, there's no reference point. It's like landing on a brand new planet, and often we doubt ourselves. Who am I to have invented this? Surely someone else thought of it before. These are mental traps that kill creativity. We must move past them. Look at the new idea. Does it connect with the original challenge? Or maybe it's useful in another context. That's where serendipity comes in. Sometimes, by chasing one goal, we accidentally solve a completely different problem. We just need to be able to recognize it. But remember, we're social creatures. We live in groups. Bringing a new idea into the mix shakes things up. So when is the right time to challenge the group around you? If your environment punishes mistakes, you'll avoid taking risks. You'll stay safe. So if we want to build creative cultures, we must welcome irrelevant, divergent information, blend disciplines, use metaphors. Only then can truly new ideas flourish. Let me end this talk with a small experiment. Ideally, I do this with you in real time, but let me show you how fast this can happen. Let's take event as a focus. What do we know about a good event? You need great speakers, an exciting theme, smooth transitions, an inspiring venue. These are all known, all convergent information. No new ideas here. Now, let's try a divergent modifier. Take the venue. Let's exaggerate it. Instead of a theater, imagine a stadium. At first it seems ridiculous, but what if the stadium is already filled with people? That leads to a new idea. People talk during halftime at football matches. Crazy? Maybe, but it's new. Now let's take another element. Great speakers. What if we remove that? No more star speakers. Sounds impossible, right? But then, what if we keep the talks and have people swap scripts? One person delivers another's message. That could lead to duet-style talks, or a speaker presenting someone else's story, removing ego from the stage. These are just examples. The point is, it's possible to think outside the box, and not even that hard once you start. Thank you for taking this journey with me. I hope it inspired you to explore further.